Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Mehdi. Today I want to review all Maison Alhambra fragrances in my collection. I have 18 bottles. I would like to be like 20 to say to you 20 Maison Alhambra fragrances, but nothing to do. I want to review them very fast. Let's start by, I picked one of them randomly. It is not a top list. So here, from Zafiro collection, Crafted Oud. It is very close to Tom Ford Oud Wood and closer to Thamin Carved Oud. It is like green, woody, and very classy type of mature fragrance, I have to say. If you like oud wood, you're gonna love this fragrance. As well, performance is average. I can get like 6 hours max in terms of longevity, and projection and CG soft for first hour and a half, I have to say. Number 17, the official Club Intense. It is clone of Creed Aventus, and rather than Aventus, I have to say they are going after arm of Club de Nuit Intense Man here, as they are closer to that fragrance rather than Aventus. They are like arm of Harsh and Synthetic. The scent profile is very close to arm of Club de Nuit Intense Man EDT, and performance is like below average. Number 16, Avant, another Aventus cologne, but yeah, opening is closed, but that smoky dry down is different here. It is like woody, somehow type of smokiness. We don't have that birchy smokiness of Aventus. In Aventus we have birch and patchouli, which gives that smoky vibe, but here is like somehow oud, which reminds me of Vibrant Leather Oud by Zara. So it is a citrusy and woody fragrance close to Creed Aventus, and I like that woody feel of this fragrance. Performance is average, like 4 to 5 hours max in terms of longevity, and first hour of average and soft projection and sillage. Number 15, Kismet. It is a rose-based fragrance, I have to say. It is like sweet. For whatever reason, it is a little bit boozy and dusty, like ambery dustiness I can get, and it has a very smooth and well-balanced scent profile. It is very close to Tuxedo by YSL. I believe for this price and performance, it is a great choice. If you want a cologne of that fragrance, it is like 6 hours in terms of longevity, and I can get like hour and a half average and acceptable type of projection and sillage. Number 14, Amber and Leather. I don't get that much amber here, but it is more leathery. I have to say it is like a fruity, powdery and leathery type of fragrance. Maybe that powderiness comes from amber, but yeah, to my nose it is not that much in that ambery side, and I get some sort of green feel at the first like hour of the fragrance. It is very close to Tom Ford Ombre Leather, and performance is okay, like 6 hours in terms of longevity. Again, hour and a half average projection and sillage. Number 13, Galatea, another leather based fragrance, I have to say. Again, fruity, leathery, powdery, unisex type of fragrance. They are going after Godolphin by Parfums de Marly, but you know, also that fragrance is inspired by Tuscan leather. So if you like ombre leather and Tuscan leather by Tom Ford, you're gonna enjoy this fragrance as well. It is actually one of the longest lasting fragrances from this house in my collection. I can get solid 8 hours plus longevity with this one, and projection and sillage is good for first 2 hours. Number 12, Precious exclusive. As you can see from the bottle and name, they are going after Pegasus exclusive from House of Parfums de Marly. Scent profile is very close to that fragrance, I have to say. In the air is almost identical. Just at the opening, this one is more lavendery, I have to say. It is all about lavender, slightly resiny and complex, with ton of vanilla at the base. It is not as long lasting as Pegasus exclusive. Lasts solid 6-7 hours on my skin, and projection sillage is not that loud. It is like very close to skin, I have to say, for first 2 hours. Number 11, Hercules. It is cologne of Heret by Parfums de Marly, but at the beginning goes much more to Bulgari Man in Black direction. Like that fragrance, you know, it is spicy, it's tobacco-y and jammy, but at the dry down it is more about Heret, as it gets more ashy and less, let's say, spicy. Somehow I like also scent profile of this fragrance. I believe for this price it is one of the solid alternatives for Heret if you find it too expensive. In terms of performance, I can say it is a lasting fragrance, like 7 to 8 hours plus, but projects average for first hour and a half. Number 10, Bright Peach. This is cologne of Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. It is a peach flavored vanilla based fragrance and has some sort of creamy vibe to it. I said in several videos, smells like peach flavored ice cream and gets solid compliments, especially from ladies. It is also another lasting fragrance from this house. It is like 7 to 8 hours plus on my skin, and projection and sillage is good for first 2 hours and actually pushes better even compared to the real stuff. Especially at first hour, it is a loud type of projecting fragrance. Number 9, lovely cherry. It is like cherry candle, has that candly vibe to it, slightly cough syrupy. Cherry is not like edible or very realistic. It is like, yeah, cherry candle, let's say. To this one has that oily and concentrated feel of candle. It is cologne of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Performance could be better, just I can get like 4 to 5 hours longevity, and projection CAG is average, somehow below average for first hour, hour and a half. Number 8, Porto Neroli. This juice is 10 out of 10 in my opinion. As you can see, cologne of Neroli Portofino, again by Tom Ford, but lasts way longer compared to that fragrance. I have it also in my collection. I can get like 3-4 hours, to be honest, longevity with the real stuff, and like below average projection for maximum 1 hour. But here I can get 6 to 7 hours longevity compared to the real stuff. I have to say this one is little more acidic, somehow very little gives a vinegary vibe just at the first 30 minutes. After that leans very close to Neroli Portofino. It is like green, slightly soapy and citrusy type of fragrance. As I said, I can get like 6 to 7 hours plus longevity with first hour, hour and a half, average projection and CH. Number 7, Terra. Look at color of this juice. It is very dark and concentrated juice. So scent profile is smoky, green, daring, very little drops of citruses at the background, but it is like burnt, woody, bonfirey and somehow green type of fragrance. It is cologne of Terroni by Orto Parisi. About performance, I have to say it is good. Lasts like 8 hours plus on my skin, and projection and CAG is good for first 2 hours. At number 6, Megara. It is a different and very unusual type of aquatic oceanic fragrance. I can get some sort of plummy vibe at the top of the fragrance. Sometimes you can get that vibe from the resiny notes. So let's say to this one, resiny, oceanic and very different type of aquatic fragrance. This cologne of Megamare from House of Orto Parisi. Compared to that fragrance, I have to say this one leans less aquatic or oceanic. It doesn't give that big fishy vibe of Megamare. It is way more well balanced compared to that fragrance. And at the first apply was like 6 to 7 hours plus lasting on my skin, but the more you apply it, the longer it lasts. I have to say it is like solid 8 hours, I have to say, and projection and CAG is good for first 2 hours. Number 5, one of the top sellers from this house, Kismet Angel, as it is one of the best alternatives of by Kilian's Angel's Share. I have to say almost identical to that fragrance. Even they give that boozy vibe and little smoky feel of Angel's Share here. I can get like 5 to 6 hours plus longevity with this one. Projection and CAG is soft for first hour, hour and a half. Number 4, Jorge Di Profumo or Jorge Di Profumo. As you can see, this cologne of Acqua di Gio Profumo. Very close to that fragrance, very well done. For example, if you have smelled other colognes, other Acqua di Gio inspired fragrances, I have to say this one is like 2 times better and high quality compared to all other alternatives. It smells very close to Acqua di Gio Profumo. I have to say it is less herbal compared to that fragrance, or less floral. They give more sage here. They don't give that much floral notes of Acqua di Gio, but at the dry down I can say it is very close to that fragrance. Not identical, as it is not as incensey, but fair enough, I have to say, like 90%. In terms of longevity, 5-6 hours, let's say, with this one, and projection CAG is average and soft for first hour, hour and a half. Number 3, Jorge Di Profundo or Jorge Di Profundo. So, needless to say, it is cologne of Acqua di Gio Profundo. If I have to compare scent profiles here, I would say it is very close to that fragrance, like 85-90%. But I get some sort of peppery feel, which is not available, that spicy feel in the Profundo, but scent profile is very close. And I don't get that much that masticky feel of Acqua di Gio Profundo, but these are just too much details. In the air, you cannot get that much differences, let's say. With real stuff, Acqua di Gio Profundo, I can get like 10-12 hours plus longevity. It lasts, to be honest, and projection and CAG is also loud, but transparent and airy. Even I remember 7 hours after applying, I have received compliments with that fragrance, but here we cannot get that performance, like 5-6 hours max, let's say good 5 hours, and projection and CAG is soft and below average for first hour, hour and a half, but in terms of scent profile, I have to say one of the best alternatives. Number 2, Your Touch for Men. It is a woody and sweet fragrance. It is a little bit burning woody, I have to say. slightly citrusy and creamy, very close to Stronger With You DNA. And I have to say that chestnutty note is here missing. It is not like chestnutty creamy, but scent profile is close, like 80%, not identical. I have to say I get like 6 hours longevity, 6-7 hours, and the skin and projection sillage is average for first hour and a half. Number 1, Scepter Oceana. Nothing oceanic here. This fragrance is very leathery, but you know what, like animalic leathery. If you like smoky, raw, animalic leathery fragrances, you're gonna enjoy this one. For example, leather is not like Tom Ford Tuscan leather or ombre leather, smooth and appealing somehow. Leather here is very masculine and animalic, I have to say, and I can get touch of like barbershoppy green notes at the background of the fragrance, but it is mostly in that leathery side, and it is a little bit woody and resiny. I hear they are going after Bulgari Orom here. I haven't smelled that fragrance and I don't own it, so I cannot say how they differ, how they look alike. I cannot compare for you, but in terms of the juice, that fragrance that I have it in my hand, I have to say, if you like leathery, animalic, and very masculine fragrances, you're gonna enjoy this fragrance. If not, there is a daring and off-putting somehow fragrance. So in terms of performance, 6-7 hours. Longevity and projection sillage is average for first 2 hours, let's say. Take care, guys.